The Fall of the House of Usher. This story is adapted from a classic tale about a haunted house called The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. In the tale, the owner of a gloomy mansion thinks that his house is alive and that it intends to harm him. He asks a friend to visit him so that he won't be so lonely and afraid. At the end of the story, the house collapses with the owner still inside. His friend escapes the destruction. Here, the friend describes the first time he sees the house. For a whole dark and overcast autumn day, I had been riding alone through a very dreary landscape. As evening fell, I found myself in view of the melancholy house. I don't know why, but with my first glimpse of the building, an awful feeling came over me. I looked upon the house, the bleak walls and vacant, eye-like windows, the weeds and the white trunks of decayed trees, and I felt a chill in my heart. There didn't seem to be anything I could tell myself that would make the house less scary. What was it, I wondered, that upset me so much about the place? It was as if the house had a mysterious power over me and wanted me to feel frightened away by its spooky exterior. Instead, as an experiment, I thought that it might put my mind at ease if I looked at the house more closely. I rode to the steep edge of a still black lake that lay at the foot of the building. From this perspective, I began to study the house. Its strongest feature was its old age. The walls had become stained over the years by mold that spread over the whole face of the house. Dark mold also crept up the classical columns around the front entrance. None of the bricks had fallen out, but individual stones were crumbling. It reminded me of how sometimes a thing can look perfectly solid, but it will fall apart when it is touched. Finally, I noticed a thin crack which zigzagged down the front wall from the roof of the building all the way to its foundation by the murky waters of the lake. Looking so closely at the house only frightened me more. I was so scared that I began again to think that it had a mind of its own. The whole atmosphere of the place seemed poisonous and haunted. Nevertheless, I had promised to visit my friend, and I did not want to disappoint him. So I made my way around the lake, and I entered the gloomy mansion.